Hi, everyone. Happy Saturday. So great to be back with you guys. Um, Chris last weekend filled in for me. I went to Austin to visit some family, and then the weekend before I was here Saturday, but Larry filled in for me on Sunday because it was my sister's baby shower. I really appreciate, as always, my awesome team members for filling in when we need time out. Okay, everybody, it's hot and humid. You can tell from my hair, it's frizzy. It's humid outside. It's just kind of that time of year. But we are going to get a break in the heat and the humidity heading into next week. So we have some better weather if you're a fan of that on the way. However, today is not that day. We are in the mid to upper 70s. You just saw the official number turn. We just got the 10 o'clock data. 77 with a feels like temperature at around 80 degrees. Now, today we are going to be in the 90s, but it only feels like the upper 90s. I say only, but that's because it's not the peak heat that we've had of the summer so far. It's not quite as high as it has been, although it is still going to be plenty hot, plenty humid. Now, last night we had all of those storms producing heavy rain, some gusty winds, some lightning, of course. The one lightning strike did cause installings there in Union County, a water tower to burst and kind of leak water there. We did get reports that it had been cleaned up, but regardless, it was intense. You can see a few storm reports. We have two flood reports, some wind reports locally. However, yesterday it was worse toward our north and northeast. You can see that cluster of wind reports up toward the Raleigh-Durham area, also up toward the Triad, just north of our mountain areas, even into parts there of Virginia. So here's the key here. I tell you that because these same areas, north and northeast of us, are going to see a higher chance of strong storms today. And the reason why is that the front that was right over us and still is lingering nearby is going to slightly shift to the north and northeast. As that occurs, we are going to see slightly lower rain chances today. It's not going to be quite as high as we were yesterday. So around 20 to 30% chance at a maximum. So as that front slips off to the north and northeast, you see it there. We see that approaching front from the northwest. In between these two fronts is your Saturday, which is why it's still hot and humid. We're just not going to be quite as hot and humid as we were the past few days. But then on Sunday, the humidity, yes, we know it's elevated, but it's the storms that really start to crank up. So if we're at 20% today, tomorrow we're at least 50 or 60. Your hour by hour forecast, you'll see this 90s, yes, but notice more storm potential tomorrow on the hourly numbers, but also they start much earlier. Let's look at Futurecast. We have a better chance of rain and storms today in the mountains and foothills. So around 3 o'clock, those are developing there. A pop-up, again, isolated storm could develop in the metro. Our best chances between about 3 and 8, and then it starts to clear out. But then Sunday, while we start off dry with some patchy fog once again, Sunday storms will pop up as early as about noontime for the mountains. And while they'll take some time to get to the metro, you'll notice as we look ahead to Sunday here on Futurecast, much more widespread. You can see the pockets of heavy rain popping up on radar. And then these storms, if you notice, they kind of form in a line here, are with the front that's coming in. So when storms are triggered by a front, it just allows for an additional bit of lift. So we do see lift. We see humidity during, a typical summer afternoon, like what we'll see today. But when we get additional lift with that front nearby, this can trigger a better chance of severe storms, which is why tomorrow I think we'll have better opportunities for gusty winds, heavy rain, and frequent lightning. So I'd guess no severe storm warnings today, maybe one at a maximum, but tomorrow they'll be much, much more scattered. Monday's still a little bit of a question mark here. It really depends on how far south the front does linger. If it lingers much further south, we could see not a lot of storm activity Monday afternoon. If it lingers a little bit closer, we could see some of those storms south of Charlotte. But I can tell you that in the morning, we will see some spotty rain. But notice with this latest run, the storms are actually a lot further south. So again, a lot of that's a little bit of a question mark. It all depends on where the front sets up. Now, Monday storms wouldn't be severe, but we would just see more clouds and more opportunities for rain if the front is closer. Now, we know with the cloud cover that we talked about, cooler temperatures are coming Monday. So keep Monday in the back of your head for just a second. Wanted to give you a quick overview about tomorrow with that chance of strong to severe storms, what our impacts could be. So today, yes, we could see heavy rain and just a few of those isolated pockets of rain. But tomorrow, almost everyone has an opportunity to see these risks. So frequent lightning, even some isolated flooding and some of these more slow moving storms, gusty winds, almost always the biggest impact here in the Charlotte area, and then even some small hail. Now, tomorrow is our transitionary day. So just to kind of recap the weekend. So today, hot and humid, 20% chance of rain, not expecting severe. Tomorrow, more likely that the storms will become severe with a front. Later in the day, more rain and storm activity. But Monday, cloudier as the front starts to move away, slightly cooler temperatures. I mean, we're talking the mid 80s. I still think plenty of folks will be able to get outside. I mean, the 80s are still warm. It's just going to be a little bit cooler than where we are Saturday and Sunday. And I'm not expecting it to rain all day by any stretch of the imagination, but you should expect more clouds heading into the Labor Day itself. And then post Labor Day, this 6 to 10 day forecast, the 8 to 14-day forecast, all long range models point to not just a few days in the lower 80s, upper 70s, but probably for at least 10 days, which from now is about 2 weeks away. That would be about the time that maybe we could start to see those temperatures begin to warm. Now, this time of year, we're normally in the mid to upper 80s. So this would more likely be low 80s, upper 70s when we talk about cooler air, because meteorological fall begins tomorrow. So our high temperature averages quickly go down. We're in the mid to upper 80s now with the average as of September 1st, which is tomorrow. But by the last day of meteorological fall, which is November 30th, the average high is in the upper 50s. So we know fall and spring, big transitionary, seasons here in the Carolinas, and y'all are going to feel it this week. Now, something that doesn't feel as fall-like, but definitely feels like September, is that the tropics are starting to wake up. We have 3 areas of interest right now with a low to medium chance of development. The first, that's over toward Texas coastline, likely does not develop. I mean, I say likely, will not develop I don't know why I keep saying most likely. It will not develop into at least a tropical system, but it's already producing areas of heavy rain and gusty winds near the Texas coast because it does have some of those tropical characteristics trying to develop. But will it ever become an actual depression or storm? No. But the medium chance of development is one we're keeping a really, really close eye on right now, again, with the medium chance of development in general. But a lot of long-range models are indicating a pretty good chance that that could go into the Gulf of Mexico. Obviously, we know that things can change, but when there's consistency with long-range models, that's when people really start to pay attention. And then, of course, Brad mentioned this, I believe, on Wednesday night, but Wednesday or Thursday, but another tropical wave just came off the coast of Africa, and that's the third one that we're watching. Important to note about these 3 is that none of them are an immediate threat to the Carolinas by any stretch. And we, of course, will let you know if anything changes and as we track these over the next few days. However, I just want to remind people about the time of year it is. September 1st starts tomorrow. In historical Atlantic hurricane season, almost 90% of our activity happens after August 1st. However, the peak of hurricane season itself starts in September and really goes from September 10th all the way through the middle part of October. So we're not even at the peak of hurricane season yet. And in the Carolinas, we have seen late season storms impact us before. So late September and into October. I say late season because it's just not where we have been so far. So your Guy Roofing 7-day forecast, 92 degrees today. We will still feel like the upper 90s today and tomorrow, but tomorrow has that better chance of rain and storms in the afternoon. Better chance too of them becoming strong to severe. So if I had to pick one day to get outside, it would be today. But if you are going to be out at the pool, on the water, traveling with the kids, still, of course, pay attention to the forecast. You can always track the storms live with our free WCNC Charlotte mobile app. And Brad is actually also filling in for KJ this weekend. So Chief Meteorologist Brad Panovich will be here tonight and tomorrow if anything gets a little crazy. On Monday, I'll be in for him at night, and it is, of course, Labor Day. We'll be tracking some of those isolated showers, more cloud cover. But listen, I will take mostly cloudy and 84 over the mess that we have seen over the past week. And then you can kind of see that trend there into the 70s for a lot of next week. Thursday, Friday, right now, a stronger storm system looks to move through and cause those higher rain chances. But you should expect at least some slight adjustments here because it's still a week away. I hope everybody has a fantastic, happy, healthy, and safe Saturday. Just because of the fact that we have strong to severe storms tomorrow, I'll be back here on Facebook for our stream to talk a little bit more about Sunday tomorrow and give you another preview of Monday and let you know if anything has changed. But at least for now, 92, 20% chance of rain. Enjoy your Saturday. Stay safe and stay hydrated. And I'll see you guys tomorrow at 6 a.m.